And there they go.
He semi-bluff shoves, and he's going to get snap called by Peters, and here we go.
They're not going to just bust out Peters that easily.
He made the call in the end, so,
Maximum punishment.
well. David Peters calling with pocket fives. Ben Tollerine, who hasn't been involved a lot, has a nice healthy stack of 414 at this moment. It's out of the way. Here comes a flop. Jack 10, deuce, 2 spades. So Kaverman strikes top pair, and he checks.
Interesting check. Trying to induce the bet here.
Seed 7 checks.
And David not taking the bait. Checking for pot control on the turn is a 9 of diamonds. Now a very connected, wet board.
I don't claim to understand Byron's check on that flop. It's a very connected board with a flush draw out there.
You need to know.
I don't, unless he's going for a check raise, but he's never going for a check raise in that spot.
He's checked the turn now. David Peters checks as well, so once again we see a little bit of caution here, perhaps creeping in. Well, look at this. The river is a 5. That gives David Peters a set and the winning hand. But really this hand is about
Bad play.
not taking the opportunity.
This hand is about...
You're the world champion. You can say that. I say not taking the opportunity. Well, look at this. You know, Kaverman's now bet on the river. And, well, David Peters is sitting with a set on the river. You know, is this a position where he can raise? It's still a very textured board. But there's no evidence of strength here.
I would have to say he has to raise 100% because there's been no pot building by Kaverman at all the whole way. So if he has King Queen, wouldn't he try and put some money in the pot before the river?
Which is exactly what I would think David Peters is thinking right now. David Peters now raising it up to 96,000. Now,
it's a great raise.
Byron Kaverman.
It's a great raise.
With a pair of jacks. Can he call here or can he fold?
I think, look at the size of the raise. He went from 35 to 95. A little bit less than 3 times the raise. It's very hard for Byron to think that his hand is not good here.
Seed 6 calls. Got 3 of a kind.
He made the call in the end, so
Maximum punishment.
well.
Suzor raises to 280,000. Looks like it's been folded to David Peters on the button. He's got a pocket pair, 9s.
Yeah.
While Peters has just called the raise on the button.
Yeah.
In a spot where he is dominated. Sam Cohen with Queen 8. And getting a reasonable price to call out of the big blind and make this a 3-way party.
This will be awesome if it just comes Queen high now. Queen 8 cracks 9s and 10s.
More than $1 million in the middle already. It is a Queen 8 deuce flop. Top 2 for Sam Cohen.
What a great spot for Sam. It's not a super dangerous looking board for each of these players. She's going to be really confident in her hand. No
continuation bet from Suzor. Action check to David Peters.
She can't even get counterfeited.
Peters with the worst hand. 8% equity bets.
Looks like she is going to come in for a raise.
Yeah, those are the 100K chips. Raises to $1 million straight, which gets a fold from Suzor.
He hasn't folded yet, which has me worried. So obviously David Peters here realizes that her value range is very narrow. She doesn't have queens. Ay-ya.
9 on the turn gives Peters a set.
That's really, really gross. Maybe the heart will save her. Although I guess she does have a hard draw herself now too. She has out to a full house. But man, oh man.
All in.
She shoves the turn.
Oh boy.
And David Peters calls.
Oh boy.
Sam Cohen at risk. And looking for a queen or a heart on the river. 10 outs.
Drawing thin, but not super thin. 1 in 4 times she gets there.
Unless it's a queen or a heart on the river, we lose a player. It is not a queen, it is not a heart. Sam Cohen departs in 6th place.
Wow, that's just so unlucky. I don't even know how she's walking out on her own 2 feet right now. My knees would be buckled. I'd be puking.
And there's Barry Greenstein. As long as we're speaking of journey, don't stop believing, Bear. Pocket kings all in under the gun. Ace king for D. Peters. Let's see how good he really is.
Let's see if he calls or re-raises. That's what I'm excited to see. I imagine he's going to call.
You are correct, sir.
We discussed this yesterday in the Twitch stream, and in the stream, and the Twitch chat decided to berate me for trying to talk poker strategy. Anyway, when the all-in is for 6 big blinds or less,
okay,
and you have a deep stacks with everyone else, like David Peters is here.
Okay, I'm with you.
6 big blinds or shorter, you want to re-raise the minimum with all of your playable hands.
You lost me.
David Peters right here, right?
Okay.
He needs to re-raise the minimum with everything he wants to play.
Who? Which one?
David Peters.
You lost me.
Oh my God.
Gonsalves is 3-betting his 2 sevens. That looks like another raise.
Yep.
4-bet alert. Nope, 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 nope. Looks
Nope,
like
you're
we
right.
just got a call. Action remains between Gonsalves and his 2 sevens and the ace king for Peters. Peters checks.
Yeah, when David Peters just calls this 7 big blind all in, he's not trying to fold if someone else re-raises. He wants to call in that spot to give people plenty of room to bluff. That way he gets paid when they happen to have weaker stuff. It also lets him get away from hands like ace-jack whenever he decides to call the all-in. Interesting that Gonsalves is playing pretty aggressively here. This is a tough spot for David Peters, too. It's a 65,000 bet into a pot that's now 340,000. So David Peters probably has to stick around here with the overcards.
And stick around he does.
And now we're going to end up in some weird situation on the river a lot of the time where, well, not anymore.
And this is exactly what Gonsalves was trying to avoid. You can't stop the ace from coming.
Gonsalves really, really getting after it with this bluff. It's not looking good for Barry Greenstein either. Don't forget about him.
Oh, right.
David Peters is about to ship a huge pot, most likely.
Poor Bear.
Poor Bear. Hey, he got it in good, though. Got it in great.
That's never been consolation for me.
He had to fade only 5 outs. That's it. To triple up, plus some.
But they put 5 whole cards out on the board. It doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, it doesn't seem right.
Barry's tournament life here depends on an amateur bluffing one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, could you imagine if David Peters folds on the river to an all-in? I mean, because if Gonsalves is betting this turn, he should at least consider bluffing the river. Because he clearly has the worst hand almost every time when he bets the flop and turn and gets called both times.
Well, there's a huge pot worth fighting for now.
A giant pot. Wow, that's a really good bluff card, too.
Can Gonsalves pull the trigger?
I don't know if it's that good. He'd rather a heart come off.
Let's just say it's good.
It's at least an option. The problem is David Peters could easily have ace-queen as well, and ace-jack, and both those are just never folding.
It goes check, check. Poor Barry. The old king's cracked by ace-king. He knew it couldn't have been good when he saw it on the turn.
Pocket 7s for Peters, and he opens from under the gun +1.
Screw the rules. I know the spoilers. Peters wins the whole thing in the next 35 minutes.
Getting some inside information from behind the curtain. Jonathan Little is eating not 1 but 2 pieces of key lime pie as he prepares for the next segment of Table Talk here on PokerStars TV. Oh, look at this. 3-way to the flop, and it's a set for David Peters, an up and down draw for Helio Cream. So Peters continues flop for 77,000. Cream has got just shy of 25 bigs behind.
Oh, and there they go.
A semi-bluff shoves, and he's going to get snap called by Peters, and here we go. Cream at risk, and will need to hit to improve. Looking for an 8 or a king, or Helio is going to get creamed. 2 chances to hit. Our first all-in of this level. The turn card is a deuce. Same outs needed. Cream needs to hit a king or an 8. He has 6 outs.
Pretty big pot here. This is the difference between 900,000 or 2.6 million.
The 6 seals his fate.
There's the all-in from D. Peters. Giranella certainly has the hand for calling. D. Peters does have to worry a little bit about the players to act behind, but not a huge stack himself. Ace-8 shoves, hoping to isolate, but Delpino with ace-queen suited.
Yep, he's going to call both of these and go for the double elimination here. He's got all the chips at the table. For a 3 big blind and an 8 big blind shove, we're well into it here with ace-queen suited.
Well into it. You're fist pumping at this moment with ace-queen suited and 2 stacks that cannot really hurt you. And just 1 player to act behind. There's the call. And a fold from Gong.
He's going to be really good shape here 3 ways. Pick up even more chips.
Delpino with about half the equity 3 ways. Has Giranella dominated. Is in front of Peters. Peters does have live cards. And this is exactly what you were expecting, Scott, that we're going to have some all-ins. We still got to...
Right, but now if ace-queen is to hold here and knocks the 2 shorter stacks away out of the table and those seats get filled in, it's going to be a lot deeper. We're going to be able to see a little bit more poker.
We go back to playing some regular poker. All right, here we go. 2 players all in to the flop. Jack 9-6. So everyone misses, which is good news for Delpino. There's some back doors for each of the all-in players, but they're sort of blocking each other. Turn card is a king.
You're not going to just bust out Peters that easily.
Peters way out in front now. Giranella still likely to go broke. Cannot win the hand. And the river card is a 3. So Giranella will be eliminated.
And Peters basically quadruples with that.
Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe for more awesome poker content. And check out this video. The YouTube algorithm seems confident you'll like it.